Game 2 here actually looks quite simple. You have alchemists, you could draw a lot of cards with your alchemists and then play one or two banks and get lots of money from that. You have plus buy and courtier, and you have trashing and count. That's it, you're done. You could also get two things off your courtier, two choices, because there's fishing village on the board. Action duration, I believe that is the only thing in the supply that has two typings on it. So 2-5 for me is going to be very easily a count and nothing. I did consider picking up an estate here, but I chose not to because all three of these shelters have two typings on it, which is better than estate for courtier. So I do not buy the estate because of that. My opponent opens with a fishing village and a potion. Now on 3-4 there is some consideration to get into count quickly, so perhaps something like poacher silver or poacher fishing village might be considered if you want the count straight away. I'm not really sure, but my opponent goes for the potion, going for the alchemists right away. So luckily, well not luckily, but he's able to get one on turn 3 there and another fishing village. 4 for me after trashing is going to be a fishing village. It means that I can trash a bit more aggressively, the coppers anyway. I got rid of 2 shelters, so mostly coppers in my deck. So I'm going to go ahead and trash again here. I have enough money to pick up a potion, I believe, or at least another fishing village. So yep, enough for a potion. And in fact, the count has money on it, so I can trash all the coppers and still have enough money for a potion. So I go for a potion first here, looking for the alchemist, and then my plan is to get a courtier for the plus buy, and then we can do something like alchemist and fishing village and then move on from there if need be. So here a bit inefficiency with the count. I do top deck here. I didn't have to. I should have instead discarded and picked up the 3 coins off the count. Does slow me down a little bit. I decide not to bother asking my opponent to redo or to undo there so that I can fix my my turn up. Just decided to go with it here. Now I do choose a courtier here over another alchemist. I really need, well, I really want the plus buy. I feel like I can make use of it, and I'm going to make use of it straight away here. I do ask for an undo here because I have a better play with the courtier, and it comes back to that hovel that I kept as a hovel and not as an estate. So I can use it for coins and buy here instead of using it as action and buy before with the fishing village. So does allow me to pick up an alchemist and another fishing village. So gracious undo from my opponent there allows me to pick up those 2 cards, and we are looking in decent shape right now. My opponent did manage to buy a count, and he was able to draw quite a few cards with his alchemist and trash all of them. So that's always very nice when you can increase your hand size and then trash with count. So now I have to start watching him a bit more carefully and see what he is up to right now. But as it is, I still think I'm in a good position, nothing to worry about really. I have the courtier and I have the option to get plus buy from the courtier along with the coin, so not at all worried right now. My opponent does pick up a courtier here. Is it courtier or courtier? I don't know. Some words with IER, you say EA or YE. Anyways, this is not grammar class. So, oh, pronunciation class? Is there such a class? Okay, Dominion, focus. Here, I am able to actually get up to 8 and put 8 potion, of course, and 2 buys. So it does mean I'll pick up another courtier here. And that's the plan for the next part of the game. Get as many alchemists as possible and get as many courtiers as possible. Courtiers is really nice. You can choose to pick up the golds if you like, and then you could make your bank very strong. I also have stopped trashing with the count now. It's a little bit cumbersome to trash with the count now and for a few turns, and also I don't really mind the coppers too much because there's bank on the board, and that is not the worst thing in the world to have a few extra treasure cards in your deck. So here, going to just do the thing with the courtier. As usual, coins and buy, coins and buy. I can do that here because I have the extra actions from the fishing village. And what I could be doing here is top decking the hovel actually, because that is an important card for me right now to be able to see that. And taking 3 coins. Instead, I discard the hovel and a copper to pick up 3 coins instead. A little bit of inefficiency there. I could have 1 extra coin, but with 3 buys, I didn't really need it here. An alchemist and 2 courtiers will suffice for me at this point in the game. Now, as it seems to be going here, I will win the alchemist split 6-4 on the back of being able to trash that earlier, of course. Now, alchemist is your only source of draw on the board, so it means that you are restricted to what 12 cards that it can draw. So it does put a limitation on how far you could take your deck, or how far you could take a reliable deck anyway, and you kind of value reliability here just because you want to see the potion with all the alchemists so you could put them back on top of the deck. So right now I was not able to draw the count here, so I need the last alchemist here to be able to draw the count plus 1 extra card. So that is what I am going to do here, get the last alchemist, and I was thinking, okay, I would want a cartographer just to help line up my potions and my alchemists, which is fine, but the bank here, I didn't like this bank. Obviously not at the time, but after I realized that the bank was not the best thing to buy at that point in the game. A treasury or another courtier would have been better, perhaps even mint was better than bank at that point. The reason is because I'm going to start to strain my deck on the draw, and I will not be able to see all my treasure cards. If I'm using the cartographer, I will discard coppers. So most likely I will see my bank with just the potion, and paying 7 for $2 is not smart at all when there's silver on the board. So I did not like the bank in hindsight. Still don't like the bank. Even better was just gold at that point, really. So anyways, we'll see how much it costs me here. My opponent, this is strange. This is radical here. My opponent picks up a couple pirate ships here. Perhaps in the bank, but at this point I realize that the bank isn't so hot, and I don't mind too much if he hits the bank. I can get goals, which will be a lot better through my courtiers. Not at all worried about the pirate ships. So like I mentioned before, we are at the point where my deck is kind of straining for draw. You see, I'm not able to draw everything here, so really it's about that time to start putting green cards into your deck. Also, with your opponent firing off pirate ships, he might hit my potion, which is bad. So let's just try to end this game as soon as possible right now. I do not get up to 24 here on 3 buys, get up to 23, which is unfortunate. Had I drawn the last copper, I would have been able to get up to 24, but no such luck for me. Now I do make the play of top deck in the hovel, which again is still an important card for me here. I don't really want to get rid of it by buying the province right now, because it allows these courtiers, a lot more of the courtiers, to be coins and buy. So 2 provinces and a cartographer is what I am going to pick up here. The cartographer is going to be pretty important in a deck that can't quite draw everything, but still wants cards to come together, like the alchemist and the potion. And 2 provinces and a cartographer is actually enough to make my opponent resign at this point. He plays his turn and fires off his pirate ships, doesn't hit anything except a copper, but I guess that wasn't good enough for him. So he resigns on his turn. Another misplay from me here, with knowing that he has the pirate ships, I should only top deck 5 alchemists, because he will flip one of my alchemists when he plays his pirate ship. So I mean, in some way you could think of it as defending the treasure with an alchemist, but I would rather not do that. I would rather have 6 alchemists on call. Anyways, so that is how game 2 ends. Just very lucky to open 5-2 on this board with the count for me here. Alright, thanks for watching, and I will see you.